Hey guys, in today's video we will continue to see the story titled The Return of the God of Destruction, Big Mun. This story will be about a god of destruction that was brought to life, but he didn't belong to any of the current 12 universes, but one of the 6 that had been destroyed by Zeno-sama thousands of years ago. We will see how this god of destruction will behave now thousands of years after his death and what his goal will be now that he has returned. Will this god of destruction be a new ally for Goku or a new enemy for him and his friends? Well, follow along to find out. So grab a bucket of popcorn and your soda and come with me, and of course don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and comment what you think of this story. Well, without further ado, let's get started following this incredible story. In the 7th universe. Currently on the planet that was at the limits of the 7th universe, it was possible to see on the largest floating island that the huge pyramid where the star that would grant a wish to its bearer was no longer standing. Because Big Mun and Frieza, who was in his strongest form called Black Frieza, had destroyed the pyramid by raising their powers, and now Big Mun and Frieza were on top of the place where the pyramid's wreckage was. Big Mun spoke. "That black form of yours is much more powerful than that golden form, so that must be your current maximum power. I must admit that this power of yours is impressive, and I would say that you must be as strong as a god of destruction," said the god of destruction, admitting that Frieza was as strong as a god of destruction, something that made the Emperor give an arrogant smile. Frieza said, "About me having a power that equals that of a god of destruction, that I already knew, but thank you for confirming," said the Emperor with a big arrogant smile on his face. This made Big Mun laugh, leaving the Emperor confused. Big Mun spoke. "Make no mistake, you have power that matches that of a god of destruction, but in our base form. All gods of destruction possess a form that releases the true power of destruction, so even the weakest of the gods of destruction, upon activating this power, could face the strongest god of destruction, and depending upon who was activating this power, it could even face an angel and defeat him. But angels also have a similar power that makes them much stronger, so you can even be stronger. But you couldn't face a god of destruction using 100%. Said the god of destruction to Frieza, who was shocked to learn that the gods of destruction possessed even greater power than Frieza thought and saw. Frieza thought, "So the gods of destruction and angels have a supreme form? Shit, I thought that by being able to handle the power of destruction at the time of the Tournament of Power, I had become strong. And until now that I have my black form, I thought that I could overcome the gods of destruction. But now that I know, I will have to come up with a new plan to become a god of destruction, so that I can defeat Big Mun and assume his position as god of destruction," thought the Emperor as he looked at Big Mun, who was waiting for Frieza to act. Big Mun said, "You are strong and very greedy, so I would say that you are after the position of the destruction god. If so, I'm right here. Defeat me and absorb my energy of destruction. This will automatically make you a god of destruction, and thus you can rule my universe. Of course, if it still exists," said the god of destruction when analyzing the Emperor, and come to the conclusion that Frieza was looking for the power of a god of destruction, and that saying that would be a good incentive. Frieza spoke. "Absorb your energy of destruction?" asked the curious Emperor about the way he could become a god of destruction. Big Mun said, "That's right. If you defeat me, you can absorb my energy of destruction and become the new god of destruction of the 13th universe. That was how the new gods of destruction of my time were chosen, and it was from this so that I became the god of destruction of the 13th universe. Now that I've motivated you enough, are you going to stand there or are you going to come and face me?" asked the god of destruction, provoking the Emperor for them to face each other. Frieza said, "It's good to know, so I will defeat you and thus gain the power of a god of destruction, and with that I will go to your universe to govern it. But if your universe is destroyed, I will have to kill one of the current ones, gods of destruction, and take their place," said the Emperor, deciding to face Big Mun to get his power, something that made the god of destruction smile because he wanted to face the Emperor. Big Mun thought, "It's been years since I fought. Let's see if I still know how to fight, and especially how to use my powers correctly," thought the god of destruction, putting himself in a combat posture. Frieza, now more motivated than ever, he advanced against Big Mun, who waited for the Emperor to approach him. When Frieza was close enough, he tried to punch Big Mun, but Big Mun managed to drop and tried to do the same thing at the last time. However, Frieza already expected it and managed to fire a ray made of ki from his fingertips toward the god of destruction, who managed to dodge the attack, but could not dodge a kick given by Frieza that made him fly for a few meters. Big Mun managed to stabilize himself in the air and at the same time advanced against the Emperor, who was surprised by his high speed. The only thing the Emperor managed to do was cross his arms to defend himself from Big Mun's attacks. The attack made by the God of Destruction was strong enough to make Frieza fly, but unlike Big Mun, Frieza did not stabilize in the air but continued to fly, and seeing this, Big Mun went after him, flying at high speed after the Emperor. Big Mun managed to follow Frieza to a quarry, which was well destroyed by Frieza's attacks, which was floating over the place. When Big Mun went after Frieza, he was forced to dodge a large stone that was thrown at him by Frieza, who had used his power to do that. Frieza, using his power, began to make thousands of stones float and launched them against the God of Destruction, who began to destroy them using his fists. Until tired of doing that, Big Mun made an aura of destruction surround his body, causing everything that touched him to disintegrate, making the thousands of stones thrown by Frieza become light purple particles. This hindered Frieza's vision, and when the particles disappeared, the God of Destruction was no longer in that place. Frieza tried to go to where the God of Destruction was, but when Frieza tried to do that, he felt something holding his arm. And when he looked at his arm, he saw it wrapped in a yellowish cloth, imbued with the energy of destruction. Frieza could see Big Mun looking at him with a smile on his face, as those were the cloths that were wrapped around the body of the 13th universe God of Destruction. Big Mun with great strength pulled his cloths, causing Frieza to be pulled together, and using his strength, Big Mun began to rotate in the place where he was, and the more Big Mun rotated, the stronger the type of tornado became, which was being generated by the strength and speed applied at that location. But they were in a quarry and Frieza was trapped, wrapped in Big Mun's cloths. Frieza ended up hitting the mountains that were there several times. Frieza, in a fury, managed to break free from Big Mun's cloths, and then fired at high speed at Big Mun, who did the same thing. And then the two ended up meeting in the sky, and when they approached each other, both tried to punch the others. But their fists ended up meeting, generating a large impact wave, due to the force used by the two. After their fists collided, both separated and then advanced towards each other, starting a rain of blows. The impact wave of the attacks was strong enough to pulverize everything around. The exchange of blows between Big Mun and Frieza became increasingly violent. Even more so when Frieza began to fire a blasted ki against the God of Destruction, who managed to dodge most of them. After all, Frieza's ki blows hurt the God of Destruction, even though he used the energy of destruction as a barrier. Big Mun said, "It's been a while since I used that technique. Let's see if I can still do it," said the God of Destruction, moving away from Frieza and concentrating. In a matter of seconds, Big Mun closed his eyes and then opened them, and using his power, all the elements such as stone, wood, and things like that were in the place began to take the form of a type of humanoid dog that began to fly, until all those beings that were created by Big Mun were close to their creator. Frieza spoke, "What kind of power is this? He managed to transform the local elements into beings that are powered by ki. He literally just created an army," said the Emperor while looking at the newly created army of Big Mun. Big Mun said, "Let's see if you can face me and my army at the same time. For someone who seeks the power of a God of Destruction, it should be easy to accomplish this feat. So what do you say?" said the God of Destruction with an arrogant smile on his face. Seeing that, Frieza ended up getting very angry, because even though Big Mun's army was weak, it would still be boring to face them. But at the same moment, Frieza ended up remembering that he also had an army, and right at that time, the spaceship of Frieza was flying over that place. And then when the ship landed, all the members of the army left and stayed behind Frieza. Frieza said, "Let's see which army is better now. But don't worry, I'll be the one you'll have to face to death," said the Emperor with a dangerous glint in his eye. With that, we come to the end of today's video. If you want to see the continuation of this incredible story, leave a lot of likes in the video and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in another day, guys!